just to agenda item 12, public comment, which is open to anything, is not limited to agenda items. We have 3 people who have filled out forms here. Mindy Kern. And please limit it to 2 minutes.
Mindy Kern, Upper Pottsgrove. I just wanted to take a couple of minutes and I want to read some of the comments that have been on social media regarding the issues with the teacher. I have about, this is slim down, 18 parents, 2 district employees or former employees, and 4 students. Parent number 1, I'm not using names, and please excuse the language, I'm just reading what was posted. This is disgusting. Pottsgrove should be embarrassed. I know that when our child had this teacher, excuse my French, he was a complete asshole to the students and should not
Excuse
be
me,
able to
because
follow.
it's a public meeting.
I
I
can-
realize you're reading verbatim, but I'm going to ask you not to.
This teacher should be, sorry, parent number 2, this teacher should be ashamed. Parent number 3, he lost his temper and a student was injured. He displayed violent behavior. We don't need this in Pottsgrove. Parent number 4. But the teacher's prior repeated violent record does not. Parent number 5, appalling. Parent number 6, my older kids are 21 and 20 and this teacher has been like that since they were in school. I know my 15-year-old has had issues with him where he would laugh or just say rude things to the point where another adult had to go and talk to the principal about it. He shouldn't be a teacher and I'm not sure why he's still there. Parent number 7, my son had him last year and complained about the way he treated other students in class. My son is not shocked at all that Mr. Hartzell would do this. Parent number 8, what amazes me is that I'm part of a youth hockey organization, and if we had a coach or parent who was even suspected of doing this, they would be removed pending investigation and a safe sport would be engaged to investigate. And we are unpaid volunteers. How are the people who are professional salary positions making these decisions? Parent number 9. So this is the same teacher that had my preteen daughter held up physically against the locker, screaming in her face. When I came to pull her out of Pottsgrove to make the move to Boyertown, he ran and wouldn't confront me. Literally left his entire class alone. He would not have to confront me. Parent number 10.
That is 2 minutes.
Okay.
And I have
I'd rather do one last one. Former student number 4. As a Pottsgrove alumni, I've leaned back on many chairs. All of my years, not once did I ever experience a teacher coming to pick it up from under. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I'd like to do this with you.
Mark Milky.
All due respect, can my wife go before me? Please, and thank you.
Yes. Tracy.
You know me by name, that's that.
Is that?
You know me by name.
Yes, and I can read over the form here too.
Last week, I sat and watched in horror and complete disgust as our 11-year-old son struggled with concussion protocol testing administered by his occupational therapist. I watched as he failed almost every single exercise he endured, indicating he continues to suffer from the concussion he suffered at the hands, or should I say foot, of Matt Hartzell. After the appointment, I locked myself away and spent a significant amount of time praying. We want to make sure you know what happened, including Mr. Hartzell's own admissions as to what happened, and know the gravity of what happened. The following statements are 100% factual and categorically admitted by Mr. Hartzell in writing via his attorney. Keep that in mind. These are your teacher's admissions, not my opinion. Please pay close attention as he is suing my family for emotional distress and slander. On February 4th, our son was a student in Matt Hartzell's 6th grade class. Our son was leaning back on the 2 rear legs of his chair. Our son had a history of leaning back on the 2 rear legs of his chair in Mr. Hartzell's class. Our son had a history of falling while leaning back on the 2 rear legs. Mr. Hartzell believed our son leaning back on the 2 rear legs of the chair was unsafe. Mr. Hartzell intentionally, deliberately kicked our son's chair with his foot while our son was leaning back on the 2 rear legs of the chair. Mr. Hartzell did not realize his kick to our son's chair would affect his ability to balance. Mr. Hartzell did not realize The kick to our son's chair would result in his falling backwards. Mr. Hartzell's kick to our son's chair, while our son was leaning back, in fact, did cause our son to fall backwards and suffer a concussion. Mr. Hartzell continued to walk from the back of the classroom to the front. Hearing laughter from his own students, Mr. Hartzell turned around and saw our son getting up off on the floor. Mr. Hartzell saw our son rubbing the back of his head. Again, we reiterate, those are not our opinions. These are your employee's own words, issued to us in a legal document, which he passed around in school, by the way, for other teachers to read.
2 minutes is finished.
And I'm almost finished. Which he swore to be 100% truthful. If this isn't troubling you, we don't know what else to say. But we'll see you at the next board meeting and every board meeting after that until your job is done.
Thank you. Mark Milky?
Mark Milky, well, Pottsgrove Township, 2 kids in the 5th grade. As I've done 3 times before, my speech runs just a little bit over 2 minutes. I respectfully ask you to let me finish that. Ironically, that March Madness thing from earlier, my son took 1st place in his class and 2nd place in his entire grade. But now he hates school. A person is guilty of criminal simple assault if he recklessly causes bodily injury to another. That's Pennsylvania Crime Code 18 PA CS 2701A.1. It's my fervent belief that Mr. Hartzell's actions towards our son constituted criminal simple assault. Mr. Hartzell admits our son had a history of falling backwards while leaning on the rear 2 legs of his chair, and that he believed it was unsafe for my son to do so. Despite this, Mr. Hartzell intentionally, deliberately kicked our son's chair instead of simply asking him to place all 4 legs on the ground. The kick was, at the very least, reckless, given Mr. Hartzell's knowledge and belief. And because our son fell backwards, struck his head, and suffered a concussion as a result, Mr. Hartzell's recklessly kicking our son's chair caused our son to suffer bodily injury. That Mr. Hartzell did not intend to injure our son is of absolutely no consequence to me or the law. By definition, this was assault, plain and simple. Mr. Hartzell has a 2024 criminal conviction for harassment with physical contact and pending charges against him for disorderly conduct / engaged in fighting and harassment with subjecting other to physical contact from an incident that occurred outside of the school just 4 days after he assaulted my son. He also has a long history of, quote, picking on dumb kids, bullying special needs students, physically grabbing students and yelling in their face, mistreating students he doesn't like, and just being a jerk to students and parents alike. You've done nothing about this. You continue to employ and protect him. When is enough going to be enough? When are you going to start protecting the students from him instead of protecting him from the students? The district's ongoing refusal to act is, in our opinion, textbook reckless endangerment. As we understand it, you are the only one in this room with the power to do anything about this, Dr. Finnerty. You have the authority to stand up and put your foot down to protect my son and his fellow students from the dangers created by Mr. Hartzell. Perhaps you'll finally do the right thing and prioritize your student safety over your teacher's ego. Or because you're leaving at the end of the year, maybe you'll just bury it in the sand and leave the problem for your successor to address. Regardless, we can assure you that we will not let this go, as our son's safety and the safety of every student in that school now and in the future is in the utmost important to us. We were told by Child and Youth Services that the safety plan you came up with after Hartzell was allowed back in the school was that he couldn't be alone with students. He had to be babysat by another staff member at all times when he was with students. So you think he's enough of a danger that he needs to be babysat by another adult, but not enough of a danger that he should be removed from the classroom? Does anybody see how ridiculous that is? On top of that, you didn't even implement your own plan. I know, because I know several students in Hartzell's classes, and there was only 1 period per day that he had another adult babysitting him. So you came up with this plan and then didn't even implement it. Finally, though we're sure you're already aware, we want to advise you that Mr. Hartzell is now suing us for defamation. The lawsuit is a complete and utter sham and will be vigorously defended. It's not to clear his name and restore his reputation as he claims, but it's clearly and unequivocally meant to silence us from publicly criticizing him and publicizing what he did to my son. Know that we will not stop fighting for our son. We will not stop fighting for what is right and what is just. We will not let him bully us like he's done to so many before us. We will stand up to him, and we will fight him in court in hopes that no one else has to fight him after us. And in doing so, we will also fight the school district for protecting him instead of protecting his students. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Any other comments in the room? Comments online? The board has remained silent around this incident. I just want to say a few words. We have heard and received feedback from the school district community regarding the alleged incident involving district employee Matthew Hartzell. I want people to be assured that the district immediately responded to the alleged incident, investigated it, and cooperated with the appropriate governmental entities in their response to the alleged incident. The difficulty is that this is a personnel issue, and the board will not comment on the incident or the district's response to it further. And I ask that the school district community respect the importance of keeping personnel matters confidential. Additionally, the district's aware that the employee has since filed a defamation lawsuit against the parents of the student involved in the alleged incident. Pending litigation is yet another reason the district will not be sharing any details about the incident in question or the district's response to it. And listen, it's not that we don't have a heart. I don't like seeing anybody hurt, whether it's my children, my grandchildren, or your children. That's not the only piece of the issue. Thank everyone in the community for their understanding and the trust you place in us to educate the students in our district.
My son's concussion is not alleged. It's real. Just to be clear.
Any other comments? Nothing online. Before we move to adjourn, I want to remind everyone that the Tuesday, April 14th is the next Operations Finance Committee meeting